Hi everybody, this is Ospreyeye from MyChartCoach.com, and we're going to take a look at some of the ticker symbols that were in play today, and we're also going to take a look at some charts that are setting up. Okay, in the previous video we showed LABU and how the biotech sector has been heating up. Yeah, so we'll be looking at some stocks in that sector, but first up, let's take a look at ANY. Okay, nice day today, closed up 21%. RSI is now above 50 and in the 50 to 70 bull zone, and then Fasto's in the 50 to 70 to bull zone as well. Nice parabolic move on plus DI and ADX, and then notice the bullish crossover here with ADX crossing minus DI to the upside. That's a signal the bulls are taking control. There was a PSAR bull flip. Notice down here the dots are now below the candles. The green dots, they flip below, signaling a possible bullish change in trend. And so the nice development today was the close above this dotted purple line, the middle Bollinger Band, currently at 0.135. That is the key level to hold. As long as that holds, a new uptrend should begin. The upper wick in the candle pierced the 50-day simple moving average, currently at 0.167. Now that is the key level to break. If you look back here in May, you'll see that there was a break above the middle Bollinger Band, and then it followed through and it hit the 50-day simple moving average and failed to break. And then the following day, it busted above that level intraday, actually hit the 100-day simple moving average, failed to close above resistance, and ended up pulling back and closing well below the previous close. So what we're looking for now is a bullish change in trend. What we want to see now is a close above the 50-day simple moving average. When that happens, that's going to signal more upside potential, and that's going to put this 100-day simple moving average on deck. That is also lined up with the closing price here on May the 11th. So that is going to be the big target. If you see a break above 17 tomorrow, then look for a potential run to 22. I know ANY was moving in after hours trading. Keep in mind that this has a history of selling off and not holding on to the gains. There's been a history of a long downtrend here. So we're going to be keeping our eye out for a potential bullish change in trend. And one of the keys that this could be different this time is the volume. Look at the giant volume behind the move today. So you know, there was a big volume. Let's see if it can get the uptrend going here. There was also a bullish crossover on MACD last week, and then a couple weeks ago there was a crossover on the 8, 13, and 5 MACD. So the chart is really heating up. It just needs to follow through and break resistance. Take a look at the 15-minute chart. This is the ANY 15-minute chart, and notice here at 2 o'clock, middle Bollinger Band support broke, and the candles were struggling to stay above that level. Now they're going to need to get back above 0.154 tomorrow to head higher. I believe that they were trading above that level in after-hours trading, so you want to see that level hold, and then the key level to break is going to be 17. That was the high close for today, and if that breaks, that's going to be signaling potential run to that 100-day simple moving average on the daily chart. Now, if 14 support fails to hold, notice that the 50 simple moving average is just below at 13.8, so that's going to be providing a lot of support. And then if it drops below, down here in the 13 range, you've got the 300, the 200, and the 100 simple moving averages. So there's a lot of support below. You know, the volume is the key here. There's big volume behind the move. Look at the low volume beforehand. And also, you know, for everybody that's you know, in our chat and that you know, following our strategies and our trading theories. If you look here, this is the classic super tight Bollinger Band yesterday. See how tight the Bollinger Bands were? You know, they dropped down below this morning, but then the break above on this candle, okay, it broke above all the moving averages and above the middle Bollinger Band. That was the signal that was in play. Notice how the candle started riding EMA 4 support higher. Always look for these charts with the super tight Bollinger Bands on the 15-minute chart, and that's signaling a bullish, you know, that a change in trend is coming soon, and it could be bearish if it breaks to the downside, or it could be bullish if it breaks to the upside. This was a head fake to the downside. They shook out all the weak hands, and then the market makers ran it. And so yeah, so keep an eye on ANY. We'll see if it can follow through. Let's take a look at CERU. Okay, this chart is really heating up. we want to see RSI and Fasto both get above 50. If they both get above 50, that'll be a signal the chart is building strength. Currently bullish on ADX. It's always bullish on ADX when the green line is above the red and black lines. Okay, so now take a look here at PSAR. The green dots flip below the candles. The bullish setup on this chart. Okay, first check out the volume spike. So we've got a nice volume spike, the largest volume since May 8th, and then it's the close above the middle Bollinger Band, currently at 39. This closed just above that level. Notice the last time that happened was back here on the first trading day of June, and it quickly got, closed back below that level. It turned into resistance, and the consolidation continued. So going forward, candles forming above the middle Bollinger Band at 39 signal more upside potential, and we'll be looking for the candles to bust through the upper Bollinger Band and then test this 50-day simple moving average at 47. That is our target if it can hold this middle Bollinger Band. If it could bust through the 50 simple moving average, and then you've got big resistance here at 65, but that's going to put this 200 and 100-day simple moving averages at 88 and 86 on deck. So this chart is really heating up. Keep an eye on it tomorrow. We're going to see if it can turn that middle Bollinger Band into support and start a new uptrend. Okay, let's take another look at a biotechnology stock here. Okay, the healthcare sector is really heating up here. We've got RSI above 50 now in the bull zone. Always like to see that. Fasto's back above 80. You've got a bullish crossover here on ADX with the green line crossing the red and black lines to the upside. And so the bullish development here is the break above the middle Bollinger Band. Notice how the candles have been forming below the middle Bollinger Band, the dotted purple line, since there was a close below that level on May the 17th here. And that level turned into resistance, and the candles kept dropping below. And so they finally found support down here in the 575 range, 580 range, and then today for the first time there was a close above the middle Bollinger Bands since support broke back here in May. So this is a bullish change in trend. Notice the candles closed right below the 50-day simple moving average, currently at 679. That is the key level to break, along with this descending resistance line. Notice how it closed right at the top of the resistance line. So a close above that level on the 50-day simple moving average is going to be a signal that AUPH has more upside potential, and that possibly a new uptrend is starting. And then what we want to see is a break above the 775, we'll call it resistance zone. If that can happen, then we're looking at a run, possibly up here to 8, 9, 10. It could really get going if it could get through this. Notice how this was a very long sideways channel between 7 and 8. Huge channel there. It's going to be big resistance. If it can break through, we're talking about a potential run up to 10. So keep an eye on AUPH. The chart is really heating up. Notice how it was the largest volume day in the month of June. That's always what you want to see when a stock is breaking resistance. It's always the combination of a bullish volume spike combined with a break above resistance that is a signal for more upside potential. And also notice the bullish crossovers on both time frames on MACD. These are all signals along with this PSAR bull flip. Notice how the dots below the candles. All signals the chart is heating up. We love charts that are heating up. That's why we like to post them and share them with you. Okay, check out AGEN. Here's another stock that's heating up here. We've got this close above 50, so now it's in the bull zone. Fasto's above 80. There was a recent bullish crossover here on ADX, and so the stock is now it made a really bullish move today. Yesterday, it closed above the middle Bollinger Band, and then right at that 50-day simple moving average resistance level, big resistance. And then today, it was able to break above not only the 50-day simple moving average, but also this gold line, which is the 100-day simple moving average. Very similar move to this candle here. Notice that it closed right at the descending resistance line once again, right at the same level as the other stock. That's because a lot of these, because it's in the same sector. Okay, it's in the biotech sector. The LABU is running. This is this is where program trades take over, and you end up seeing a lot of similar chart patterns in the same sector because the computers are in control, the machines are controlling the trading, and it creates these very similar patterns. And so we're going to be looking for the same thing. This actually closed above the descending resistance line. We want to see that level turn into support, and the 100-day simple moving average at 376. That's going to be the big level to hold. As long as candles are riding EMA4 support higher, there's going to be more upside potential here. What we want to see is a break from this previous pattern of failing to hold the 100, failing to break above and hold it and pulling back. We want to see that actually turn to support, and if that happens, it could launch and possibly run up here to 450. That's where the 200 and 300-day simple moving averages are, and where the prior resistance level was back here in February. So the chart is really heating up. We like the bullish volume spikes. Look at the big volume behind the move. PSAR bull flip once again. First bull flip since back here in May. And then, yeah, this was the last bull flip, was in the first week of May. And then you have the recent MACD bullish crossovers. Once again, these are all signals that the chart is heating up. Okay, let's take a look at CYTR. Now we're going to look at some plays that are setting up. This is one that's setting up here on the 15-minute chart. And what I want to show you here is, because this is not a daily chart, it's a 15-minute chart. And notice how it came down here and it bounced off the 50 simple moving average right here and found support at 62. And then the close was right at the middle Bollinger Band, currently at 0.641. What we're looking for tomorrow is a break above that level and this red descending resistance line at basically 6.5. If it can get above 6.4 and 6.5, that's going to be a signal that it's back in play. We want to see that level turn into support. It was really good that it held the 50 simple moving average. Notice it's trading above the 300, the 200, and the 100 simple moving average. It's trading above the 50, so it's trading above all the simple moving averages on this chart. It just needs to break the 20 simple moving average, which is the middle Bollinger Band. If it can break that and turn into support, then it's back on full bull mode. Don't take your eye off the trade. This looks like a pause. This was just a pause in the action and not a correction. What we want to see tomorrow is a bullish crossover here on the 12, 26, and 9 MACD time frame. So CYTR is still in play. Just don't take your eye off of the price. Okay, let's look at ARGS. Okay, what we want to see here on this daily chart is a break above 50 on both RSI and FASTO. ADX is actually bullish with plus DI above ADX and minus DI. This is another chart that is setting up. Notice the close today above the middle Bollinger Band, the dotted purple line, but right at the 50-day simple moving average, which is at 0.428. And so that's going to be the big level to break. Notice how there hasn't been a close above that level in many weeks, if not many months. And so a close above is going to be our signal that it wants to finally run higher. And what we'll be looking for is a breakout above the 50 resistance zone, a possible run up to 60. If you look on this chart, the 100-day simple moving average is all the way up at 132. So it's big bullish implications if the 50-day simple moving average turns into support. Notice how many times this has been hit. It's been many weeks that it's been trying to break this. So once it does, it could really get moving. Notice that the volume's picking up. It was the largest volume day since the first day of June. The chart is wound tight. Look how tight the Bollinger Bands are. All we need to see is a breakthrough 45 in the upper Bollinger Band, and this should get running. Okay, so keep an eye on ARGS. Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit and let's look at the marijuana sector. Everybody grab some buds here. Weed Inc. is heating up. All right, so it's in play here. It's been in play. It consolidated. It bounced, and then now it made the technical development that we were looking for. RSI is and FASTO are both in the 50 to 70 bull zone. Notice how they both have room to run until overbought levels. RSI is overbought at 70 and FASTO is overbought at 80. So there's plenty of juice in the tank to head higher. What we were looking for was a close above this green line. That's the 50-day simple moving average at 1.28. That finally happened today. Notice how many times it hit after it dropped below on this candle here, and then it took all these candles to finally break that today. When you see a break above resistance, that's a signal to take action. It's a signal that there's more upside potential. Notice how the candles are trading above EMA4. What we want to see is a break above this red line. That's the 200-day simple moving average at 153. If that happens, then the high close here on the 5th is on deck, at just below 170. And then if it can break above that, then we could see a run up to 215 and the 100-day simple moving average. That would continue filling the jar. This is what we call filling the jar. Notice how the share price used to be back here around 240, and then it dropped all the way down to 40 cents, and then it headed all the way back up and didn't quite hit that past level, but almost with the upper wick here. And so what it's doing is it's filling the jar back up to that level. And you can almost see a cup and handle forming here. Notice how we've got the cup and then now the handle. And so a breakout above this neckline, which is lining up with the 100-day simple moving average, should signal that this wants to run higher. Don't take your eye off of BUDZ. Volume is picking up. Keep an eye out for a bullish volume spike and a push through resistance, and you want to see a MACD bullish crossover on this 8, 13, and 5 time frame. Okay, and now let's look at one more chart. This is AMPE. Now this is a setup chart. This chart is setting up. It's formed this double bottom. Okay, so there's a bottom here, and then now a bottom here at this 54 to 52 support zone. And then what it's been doing is been turning this pink line into support, which is EMA4. There's this nice volume spike here. It looks like people are loading down here. There's a big volume spike on the pullback. And so what we want to see now is we want to see a close above this line, this light green line here, currently at 0.60. That is the EMA 8. A close above that level should be our signal that it wants to run higher, and we're going to want to see a nice push all the way up here to the middle Bollinger Band and the 50-day simple moving average at 67 to 69, and then the ultimate level to get to is going to be this gap up here. Notice there's a gap between low of day on June 1st and high of day on June 2nd, and so a run up here to 72 hits the bottom of the gap, and then up here around 75 is going to fill the gap. So yeah, so we feel like this has upside potential. It's just setting up. This is one of those plays that's just going to take some patience. Notice that PSAR, notice the dots have been above the candles during this whole drop, and now they're at 61. When the share price breaks 61, these dots are going to flip below the candles, and that's going to signal a change in trend, a potentially bullish change in trend. On the 12.26.9 MACD, we want to see a bullish crossover there, similar to the 8, 13, and 5. Okay, thank you very much for viewing this video. If you'd like to learn more about charts and technical analysis, please check us out at mychartcoach.com and our YouTube channel at mychartcoach.com. Okay, thank you.